The rain's out today, as you guys can see, so full umbrella and everything. I did start the day trying to inquire about the DJI Mavic Pro battery, and it's kind of funny because the weird thing happened again in terms of it seems like whoever you're replying to in the support doesn't really entirely read your initial request. I mean, basically what happened was it seems like I didn't get a response or a case ID number to send back the battery, because before it happened really fast. So, I just sent basically something really fast just asking, is everything okay? And the person apologized, saying like, sorry for the delay, and if I could please provide my case number. I was like, did I just mention in my email here where I don't have a case number? That's why I'm like replying to you. So again, it makes me wonder what happens like during this communication. I guess they don't read for some reason like the previous message, or maybe there's just a language barrier. So that's kind of funny though. And one thing that usually came up when talking about these drone laws and trying to get change, a lot of you mentioned things like you should contact your local MPs. So it kind of made me curious just to search like Canada MPs in general, just to see if there is anyone that's actually tech friendly or tech savvy. Because I would assume if you have a really old mindset, like say a Mark Garneau, then you'll be like, oh, who cares about this stuff? Like, I don't need it and all that. So the first thing I did to try to learn more was look up the term Canada MP, just to see what kind of information I can get in terms of who's there, what they do, is it easy for a regular person to contact them? And I couldn't believe the first thing that popped up. It was this video here. And unfortunately, this is the stereotype that a lot of people like me have when it comes to politics and doing things really formal. I mean, oh my goodness. Here, you guys can see it.
Why isn't the infrastructure minister talking about how to implement infrastructure funds and get construction workers back to work in Alberta? Why does this government treat Alberta like a fart in the room that nobody wants to talk about or acknowledge?
My friend in her speech, but I heard her say a word that I know is distinctly unparliamentary, and I think she may want to withdraw it. The word was F-A-R-T.
No, I don't withdraw it.
What I'm going to say is that sometimes in this chamber, passion takes over and it gets kind of heated, and sometimes we say things out of order or things that may not be parliamentary. I will take it under advisement, bring it back to the table, and we'll go from there.
I almost couldn't believe what I was watching here. So apparently they were having an argument about unparliamentary language, which is like using cussing and stuff, I would assume normally. But because this lady used the word fart, they had like a dispute about this. I mean, just having the guy debate at the end whether or not the term was offensive with the way it's used. Holy. Is it really going to be like this crazy if someone tries contacting an MP, so to speak, to talk about the issues of a drone? We talk about public perceptions of drones. That's my personal public perception of politics when it comes to getting things done, like with law changes and all that. Makes me wonder if people made Mark Garneau describe his quote nightmare in detail about the drones and all that, and whether or not it will be equally as crazy as this. That brings me to this cool article I read about drones, and how in this case there was a high school and there was a teacher who admits that she's very, in a sense, anti-technology. Like, I guess she doesn't really embrace it. It's like it's more do it the traditional way. But this didn't stop her from introducing drones to the students, because in her mindset, that's the way of the future. People are going to be using it for work, so you have to, in a sense, help promote it, let the children use it. And she basically, in this one, challenged the students to use drones to solve environmental challenges. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, they would normally go somewhere and collect some water samples, and I suppose they analyze it. I suppose instead of using things like a boat to go over, collect the samples and go back, in this case they used a drone. And to do that, they had to do other things, such as 3D print items to attach to the drone, I suppose, to collect the samples. I thought it was really cool reading how the students were trying to solve problems where even the first time when they tried 3D printing some objects, it didn't work. It made them keep trying. Like, in my opinion, that's how it's going to be. People should embrace the technology, get people to use it, because I wouldn't be surprised if in the future flying a drone in terms of a skill set is going to be a necessity in many ways. And then it made me think in relation to the law, were these students like breaking the law in any way? Because I know, like, for teachers, like I've talked to some teachers before, many times in terms of resources, they actually, some of them, they actually buy it out of their own pocket and they bring it to the class. Like, it's not actually funded. Like, I was actually surprised to learn that. So it made me wonder, since these kids aren't flying with their own SFOC and all that, aren't they, quote, breaking the law? Doesn't this law actually stop people like them from doing what they're doing? Because I was even looking at the regions, like if there's helipads and airports, and yeah, like according to what I see in the map here, they're around a heliport and everything like that. So technically, they're breaking the law. Or at the same time, even when it comes to using a drone, the description is so broad and so ridiculous on what they describe as commercial use. Wouldn't this count as, quote, research use? So again, they're breaking the law? Like, to me, I hope that just emphasizes how ridiculous these drone laws are in many ways. Like, there has to be a better way to do it. In many ways too, I think more stories like these need to be put out there. Because can you imagine somebody reading that? They probably at first have the same perspective as I do. Oh, that's awesome. Kids learning technology, using it as another way to promote growth, to promote skill sets, and maybe using things that are better for the environment, as they say here. And then afterwards, you just bombard them like, did you know they're doing what they're doing here is completely illegal? Then you'll get the reaction of people like, what? What's going on? Then hopefully stuff like that, I think anyways, that's usually what helps to promote the change. Because again, I even said before, you have to have something that connects with the regular people, if that makes sense, for them to kind of say, hey, this is wrong. I was also spending some time today researching if there's anything I could do for that drone day, like here in Canada. And I was thinking of flying in an area, but I was looking at the weather, and it looks like it's gonna rain all week. And on the drone day specifically, at the Saturday, it says it's gonna rain too. So I can't really fly anything if, it rains on that day. But I was thinking what I could do in the place I was planning to go to, and apparently, I guess the main concern, I was asking a person if they've ever been there, and they haven't, and they're just concerned there will be snow up in the mountain area. We'll see, but again, I'm just trying to research places, because it would be nice to be able to fly the drone in the day, get some spectacular shots. I don't know, do people prefer waterfalls or high and up in the mountain shots usually? For me, I've gotten both of them a little bit. I've never gotten the extreme, like this one would be a little bit more hefty. Like I know if I'm going in the mountain, I'd have to actually climb a rope and so forth according to this. But yeah, it's all weather dependent, but we'll see. All right, see you guys later.